And okay, I already got that set up. We're going. It should say right now that the meeting is being streamed. We'll wait for a second to see what happens with that. I don't know. Something.
It did say recording ready though, so it's recording.
Yeah, it's recording on to the cloud, to the Zoom cloud. But let me just check on Facebook. Sometimes it gets stuck, even though it's broadcasting on Facebook. I'm not seeing that it is.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't see it on my Facebook account right now. So I think I'm gonna try. Let me try to start that
Do it
again.
again.
Yeah, live on
Stop
Facebook.
and do it again.
Yeah, it didn't go.
Okay,
And
so
now
let's
it's
try
and
again.
and now it's giving me the business again.
We haven't mastered the thing
I
yet.
yeah, I don't know why it's. I wonder if maybe I should try Chrome. I can't do that right now, but I wonder if I should try Chrome is because sometimes it will give me the prompt and everything's good, and sometimes
Maybe Chrome. Yeah, maybe instead of yeah,
instead of Safari.
Safari. Yeah.
Okay, let's try it one more time. I'll type in. Okay, and we're going live. There it is. It's doing it. It's doing it. It's doing it. We got it. We got it. We're
Hey.
we're we're actually broadcasting live now. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. And let me get the. We got it. It takes a minute for the thing to come up that has the volume slider on it. So, all right. So how are you?
I am good. I am good. And today is actually the World Mental Health Day.
Oh
And
yes, yeah,
it's important to me. So yeah, so I've been very busy working and doing things today regarding that.
yeah. That's what our work as coaches is to promote mental health. Yeah,
Yes.
to promote
Yes.
brain
It's
processes that give us a healthy outlook on life.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like to say that it's the elephant in the room.
Hmm.
It's here. It affects so many people. The World Health Organization says that it's the other pandemic actually.
Mm.
It's here. It touches 1 out of 8 people in the world. It costs a lot of money to economy, the
Yeah.
global economy. It breaks marriages.
Yep.
Creates suicides, and adolescents are at risk. Um, Yet, yeah, it's still stigmatized. People don't talk about it easily.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know in my life I've had times where I had some issues, and I actually did seek help, a psychiatrist or psychologist, for a couple of months to help me out. But for me, maybe my problems weren't so severe that I couldn't handle it with by looking at my own outlook and then coaching
Yeah.
later
And
on.
what you call problem is some depression or anxiety.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, yeah. For me, it was just I think depression about where I was.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was in a bad space, and the psychiatrist was just trying to help me figure that out rather
Yeah.
than looking forward because I didn't see, the anxiety was not, I guess there was anxiety there because I felt like the future was, the outlook for the future was not good. I was
Yeah.
kind
It
of
was
kind of
looking
stuck where I
gloomy.
was, and I didn't feel like there was a way forward for me.
I see. Where it's like the future was gloomy.
Yeah.
Where I grew up, there was there is depression and anxiety, but we say, I grew up hearing that it's a nor like developed country issue problem, right? That there is no such thing as mental illness. There is no such thing as depression and anxiety because people usually live in community there. I grew up in Dakar, which is the capital city of Senegal. And, people live in community. They're very connected. And I remember when you would be watching movies where characters would be depressed and, taking antidepressants and things, we would find that very strange. And so when I moved to the States, no, to France first and then to the States, I thought that depression wasn't for me. It was really for the white people, you guys.
Oh, okay, yeah. And maybe the reason is because in a lot of developed countries, maybe there's not that strong of a sense of community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're surrounded, you don't live alone. When there is a death, there is whatever happens, it's the whole community that gathers around you, and whether it's joy or sadness. So you never go through life alone. And what I realized later on is that there is depression and anxiety, it does, or there is maybe something even deeper than that. It's trauma because things happen to people there, but they can't talk about it. So there is a sense of desperation that is even worse because it's there, but you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
So for me, I thought that it never occurred to me that I would be depressed or that I have anxiety. And I have pretty much been a very happy person until 2019. And I started losing my joy, being less joyful all the time, and even faking to be joyful because that was who I was, a joyful person. And I didn't do anything until December 2020 when I said, you know what? I feel sad. I don't have the joy that I have usually in my heart. So I probably maybe try. No, actually, I spoke with a friend who told me that she spoke with a psychologist for years and that person had saved her life because she helped her made sense of her life. And I said, okay, do you still have the number of that lady? Because maybe I should talk to someone.
Yeah.
And then I did. And then I ended up talking to her for about 2 years. And she told me, Sabelle, actually, I think you're depressed. And I was like, who, me? I can't be depressed. It's not part of my vocabulary, right? And and it felt good just day by after day, to talk to her and kind of have clarity about what was going on and accept that, whatever was happening in my life had led me to a point where actually I was depressed.
Yeah.
And then I had to do something about it. That's really where I started opening up my eyes and, started a lot of changes that led to where I am today. And it's been amazing, right? And talking about it, there is no shame or anything because I genuinely feel like everyone should be talking to someone, whether
Right.
it's
Oh,
a
yeah, for
psychologist
sure.
or a coach.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So I've got something going through my head right now, but before you called, I was doing a little self-coaching on myself for the change is kind of remarkable for me that I'm able to look at it very quickly but here's the problem. So I decided I was going to go see the Who next week. They're playing in Denver, and this was kind of a special treat for me because I don't usually go out to concerts, and they're the remaining members of the Who are 80 years old now, so it might be the last chance, might be the last chance. So I go online and this is something I'm going to do for me, and I buy some tickets, and then I realized that the ticket I bought was from a reseller. and so I paid $28 more than I should have
Oh.
for it,
Mhm.
and I'm
Yes, you did the voice, the
yeah, it's like, what? How could you be so? What you didn't do your
Oh,
due diligence on this? You didn't check around. You didn't, and so, but I was able to catch that and say, well, okay, it's just a number. It's a number in my bank account. It's a number that I paid for the ticket, and I'm going to let that number rule the way I feel, or I'm going to just recognize it as a number and say, well, okay, it's fine. I bought the ticket, $28, a $28 difference, and it's fine.
wow, I'm thinking while you're thinking that I just had a conversation with Philippe Bartou, and Philippe Bartou is an amazing coach in our network, coaching
Mhm.
network. He's in Switzerland, and he said we always have a choice, and the choice is always about either reacting or creating.
Yeah,
And I found that very insightful. He said, every moment you're living in life, you can choose to be either ordinary or extraordinary. You
yeah,
can react to
yeah,
what's happening to you, saying, okay, I'm going to let those numbers rule me,
yeah,
or I could choose to create something different.
yeah. I'm gonna use those. In my case, I'm gonna use those numbers. I have the choice to use those numbers to beat myself up and to be disappointed and to shame myself really for not doing what I should have done as my due diligence, or I can just say, well, that's the way it is, and
Accept reality
that's
as it
fine.
is,
Yeah,
because it's not going to change anything. You can beat yourself up until tomorrow, but it's
yeah,
not going to bring back the money in your bank account,
yeah.
right?
I wanted to. The first thing I check is, well, can I cancel that
Yes,
purchase right
sir.
away? It's like, nope, you can't cancel the
Yeah,
purchase.
you're going to
You can
enjoy.
resell it yourself if you want.
I mean, you will enjoy it more because it costs, a little more than you were planned. So,
Sure, I could look at it that way, and I could say, well, that was a lesson, and I've learned lots of other lessons that were
yeah.
a lot more expensive than twenty
Yes,
eight
then that.
dollars, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, but I think the point for me is like I'm now at the point where that was just a blip on the radar. It wasn't something that debilitated me for the next 3 or 4 days, right?
Yeah.
It
So
was
is it
like,
the self-coaching you were doing right before we started the
yeah,
call?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I was saying, well,
So it does show that coaching makes a real difference in our
yes.
life and on our mental health. And
Mm,
that's been the message I've been trying to convey for the past month, really, the past few months. It's all about um, what do you want to create in your life? Do you want to be the author of your life, creating your life, or
right.
do you want to continue just to react, to
Yeah.
let things happen to you? And yeah, or, do you want to be with someone who is going to walk alongside you and
Yeah. Yeah.
help you see the power that you have to
Yeah.
kind of lead your life?
Yeah. Yeah. And also it's the ability for me to separate myself from what I'm thinking, to
Yes,
say, oh,
the
well,
observer of your thoughts, as you said.
yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's a really good lesson. I'm still like,
We don't, it's funny because I don't know if people know, if you really know that our thoughts lead our life. Do you think people really know that? We often live
that's
like
that's an interesting
just,
question. Yeah.
mhm.
I think you and I and a lot of the people we associate with so many people who have that mindset that we think that everybody knows that, and well, this is obvious, right? This is everybody knows this, but the truth is, um, most people don't think that
If
way.
I look at the mental health numbers, um, and what it costs society, and the number of suicide that goes rampant, and the antidepressants, that
Mhm.
are so,
Mhm.
big pharma makes good money, big
Yeah,
money on all
yeah,
of that.
Yep.
So I would assume that people don't know it.
Yeah. People don't know it, and they identify. Well, I'm speaking just for me because I know how I used to be, and in my moments when I'm not aware, I'm still that way. It's like I think that I am my thoughts. I think that this is a reality rather than something that
Yeah.
I've constructed in my head.
Yeah, because we have this, my friend, I had the conversation yesterday with a friend, and actually she took this coaching training from Canada where they train you to kind of rule your mind to be able to help someone in your family, a family member who has some kind of mental illness.
Mm.
And she was talking to me about the thing that you and I we practice in our coaching. She was talking to me about how they would ask her to track her thoughts
Hmm.
and to write those. She called it les pensées automatiques, which is automatic thoughts,
Yep.
the thought that you would be. So it's basically for us, it's the negative self-talk. This,
Mm.
when we talk about the sentence that rules your life,
Yep.
those things that you've been repeating to yourself over and over again, that they become like automatic. They answer like stimuli response, stimuli response.
Yep. Yep.
And she said, they taught me to write down counter thoughts. So it's for us, it's declarations or affirmations
Hmm.
to and just read them all the time, so that every time the negative thoughts, the automatic negative thought is there, there is automatically the counter thoughts, the counter affirmation or declaration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's and Brooke Castillo calls that a thought download.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea is that whenever during the day, but I've done it most of the time in the morning. So the first thing when I wake up, just like you say, automatic writing, and then you look at it and you say, is this what I wrote here? Is this an actual circumstance that everybody could agree on, or is this something that I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or
Mm-hmm.
is this an action I'm taking, or is this a feeling I'm having?
Mm-hmm.
And try to sort it out and categorize what these sentences that are going on in your brain are saying,
Yeah.
and what they are
Yeah.
really, what is really happening.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because yeah, so that's our thoughts rule us otherwise, and
Hmm.
we can live our life, go all through our life with life happening to us, our thoughts leading us, our emotions, and creating our actions and leading to our results. Or we can try and learn techniques, work with a coach or a psychologist to have those mental tools
Yeah.
to just live your most extraordinary life.
Right. Right. Exactly. Well, we maybe that was 15 right there. Can you
Okay,
believe
that
it?
was good. Yes, that
So
was
so
good for
it's
the word mental health. It's good that we kept it around mental health and um, how we can create or react, right?
right.
The
Right. Exactly.
benefits.
So thank you all for
Thank
joining us,
you.
and we'll see you later. I'm going to press the button. Here we go. All right, we're out in the recording.